Alright, so today we'll make a modular door system. So there's a floor and an actor, and we'll add some logic to the actor. Oop. So we need a logic panel, and then we're going to be using Python today, so you're going to want a text editor. And then usually it comes in handy to have at least one more split, but I usually use it for animation and UV editors and stuff like that, so it might not come into play today. So we're going to have key press. We're going to do Q. Works with most WASD setups. And then Python. And then we're going to add a timer. Timer does not equal 0. And then link that up. And then we're going to do templates, Python, game logic simple. And then I'm going to copy this and paste it over this actuator. And Q key. Time not 0. All right, we're going to set timer as an integer, so if it's greater than 1, greater than or equal to 1, subtract 1 from it. So now if I set this to like 30, or we'll do 100, and turn debug on so you can see what's happening. Gotta set it to run the script. So now you see the value descending. So the timer automatically resets itself to 0. So now, if not time not 0 dot positive, so this means time is 0 if this is true. And Q key positive. So the Q key is pressed and time is 0. And we're going to make the endpoint of array. So we take our own world position, and then we add to that our own world orientation. Column 1 is the y-axis. So if we go out on the y-axis 2 units, then that'll be about like right here. And then start own world position past, this is the distance past the ray, past the endpoint. Prop, this is the property it's looking for. We're going to do any. You could do switch, but I like to reuse the same raycaster for other things later, so I usually leave it open. So next is if the way the normals are presented. And then next is X-ray. And then next is polyproxy. So own dot, so we do ray equals own dot raycast and start past norm X-ray poly. So now this is a raycast, And to be able to visualize the array, we'll do bge.render.drawLine end start, and we'll make the line white so it's easy to see, or red. And then we have to get it back to 0 first real quick. I forgot about that. Here. See what error we're throwing. Must be string not int for 25. Okay. Oh, I skipped prop. Alright, set this to 0. See what happened. Okay. Okay, there it is. So it's casting the ray if I hold the Q key. And then if ray 0 would be the hit point. Oop. So if there's a hit point, that means that the ray hit something, or a hit object, I mean. So if ray 0, if switch in ray 0, if ray, no, we're just going to say, yeah, if ray 0 switch equals 0, so if it's ready to be reset, ray 0 switch equals 1. So now, if I add a mesh, that's a cube. Make this a little bit further. So now it should hit this, so we'll just go ahead and say print ray 0. So now when I press Q, we got an error here somewhere. Oh, if I missed an if statement. If, there we go. So it should say cube 2 in the console here. Yep, so it's hitting. So if we add the property switch and set it to an integer as 0, and we turn this debug on, if I press Q, it should switch to 1. Okay, so now we're going to turn this into a button for a door. So if switch equals 1, do timer. We don't need a separate value. We could just use switch. So if switch is equal to 1, we will need toggle. And we will need animus. All right, so this is a bool. This is an integer. So switch is equal to 1. We'll do property toggle, and then set property switch to 1, or 2. Or we'll just do add. That way I can use the same brick again. So property switch interval between 2 and 29. It'll add 1 to it. So this value, switch, should escalate up to 30. And then might as well turn this on debug so you can see it. And then also This false should switch to true when I hit Q. Okay, so now it reaches 30 and we can't act on it because it's just locked. So if switch equals 30, set switch to 0. So what this does is provides a timer for how long it takes to be able to switch it. So you can adjust these values and make it take longer to reset so that you can have some things that can't stop in the middle. Like if you send an elevator up to the next floor and you recall it, it's not going to come back immediately. It's going to come back after it reaches the floor. So you can have the timer not allow you to press the button until after a certain amount of time has passed. So there's that. And then now I'm going to duplicate this. So this is a generic. And then this one, if property toggle is true, and property animus interval 0 and 99, we add to animus 1. So this should make animus climb up to 100 when toggle is true. So there it goes. Oh, I have to turn it on. There we go. So animus climbs to 100 and stops. So what this does is we add a door object. So this is a button. Oop. So I'm going to add a cube. So here's a door. And then we're going to link across and do motion. And I go from this animus add 1 logic up to here to this motion. And we'll say up 0.05. So let's see what happens. It should climb up. Okay, it's a little bit too high. 0.025. So there's a door that goes up. When I flip it back though, it doesn't do anything, but then, yeah, see, since animus is 100, it's not going to go up any higher than that, no matter how many times you press the button. So this is like a one-way door that you can only open. So now we do property toggle is false. And we do property animus interval between 1 and 100. And then we add another motion brick, and we add another property controller. Do animus add -1. And now we have a door that can open and close. And it could be for a lot of stuff besides doors. And you could have multiple steps happen from something like this, where once this reaches 100, it sends a message for another step to happen. So a door could open, and then a vault door could open behind that, and then an elevator door could open, and then a light could turn on. So this is kind of like a sequencer, the root guts of a sequencer. So we connect across this add -1 controller to this motion brick, and we do -0.025. So now the door should open and close. There it goes. So there is a basic door controller. And what's nice about this, one moment. All right, so I'm just adding a basic control to this cube real quick. And we don't need the y-axis, so there we go. So now, oh, that's way too sensitive. All right, now I can move. Need a little tiny bit of friction here, so I'm not surfing. There we go. So now, open door, close door. Now we have a drag and drop door that you can use all over your level. And it doesn't necessarily have to just move up and down. We can place the origin on one of the sides, and then all right. This should rotate 100 degrees now. Oops. I forgot to do set origin to 3D cursor. There we go. There it goes. We have a door that swings now. And we can change the Z up to not local, and then add a Y-axis spin. And now it'll rotate and spin as it goes up. So you could do all kinds of stuff with this system. Not just doors, but puzzle elements, things like that. And this is just kind of a generic template to get you going. You're going to have to add your own guts to it to figure out what you're going to use it for. So this is all cast ray stuff. This is if the ray hits, if switch is in the thing that the ray hit. If it's already 0, set it to 1.